subscribe and hit the bell icon and never miss another video.
I can be a vivacious, loud, fun person. And I like that about myself. That there are very few people in our profession left that actually do things for the passion, the love, and the creativity. We've used taxis before, it's just never made it to the news before.
Yeah. Hey, this is Miss Malini, and this is the first of many because after the pandemic, I think this is the first interview I'm doing in the flesh. Hi, Sara.
Hello, hello.
I'm so glad that I'm getting a chance to, actually sit down and chat with you.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, and I think that so we had a really good chat when we did our, fun Vood show and chat about that. And I remember you were saying that you kind of want to start doing interviews again when you have something to talk about, like a movie to talk about.
You remember that?
I remember that, and I completely appreciated that, and I completely get that. But now, Atrangi Re is coming out. So first, tell us a little bit about the movie.
So I think that, firstly, it's wild that you remember that.
Yeah.
Because I think that somewhere down the line, I think that I can be a vivacious, loud, fun person. And I like that about myself.
Yeah.
People have applauded it before, appreciated it.
Yeah.
But I think that in the grander scheme of things, it can get distracting and confusing if not complemented by and supported by real work,
Fair enough.
We're all here to have fun, but fun is only fun when there's hard work behind it.
Yeah.
And that brings me very well connected to Atrangi Re,
Yes.
which is, I think, a lot of hard work that I have put in. The entire team has put in. I think that 2020 was a challenging year for the whole team. Lockdown, the pandemic, these were like major, major paradigm shifts that everybody went through. And I think that the only thing that all of us were waiting for, and I remember speaking to Dhanush sir about it, I remember speaking to Anandji about it, and we were only waiting to get on floors again and to start doing what we love doing again.
Yeah.
And I think that Atrangi Re is just, every film is special in its own way, but I think when it's led by a filmmaker like Anand L. Rai, then honesty, simplicity, realism and love is what I'll say Atrangi is for me.
No, when I came to the music launch, and it was so stunning that A.R. Rahman is sitting there on stage and like performing live, and I'm like, pinch myself. You don't get those experiences. The music is beautiful.
There was no like paps inside.
Yeah.
And I think that in today's day and age,
I was there.
but you weren't allowed to love. You weren't shooting anything.
Yeah.
So at that point, you were just like a keen observer, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's something that was so refreshing to me because initially, after, in all honesty, I told Anandji, I was like, "Arey, Rahman sir, इतने अच्छे से गाने बजा रहे, play कर रहे, गा रहे, why are we not shooting it?" And it made me realize that there are very few people in our profession left that actually do things for the passion, the love, and the creativity instead of just the constant validation and what we call the shosha or the gimmick.
Yeah.
Somebody like me from the generation that I'm from finds it weird that I'm like in this heavy
Like, I can't take
gown
pictures of
and
this.
there's hair and there's makeup and I'm like sitting really together and there's like nobody's filming it. Like, why is it happening then?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Till I was there. And I think that Anandji and A.R. Rahman are two people that I think have so much passion and so much love within them that they ooze it out in the form of their creativity. For creativity rather than shosha, which I just love.
Which is very rare, like you were saying.
It's Atrangi in today's day and age.
It really is. It's that whole,
that people are doing something for the love of it. I mean, it's not really heard of
because
anymore.
now it's like, if it's not on Instagram, did it
even happen?
Did it even happen?
I mean, I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, same. But what I really loved in the way that the music was shown and the little clips that were being shown, the movie looks really sweet. It looks like a sweet, romantic, tug at your heartstrings kind of film. And I think it's been a while because all of us, I think, have gotten so obsessed with watching like crime thrillers and people chopping each other up on all these OTT platforms. It's nice that now there's going to be like a feel-good romance. So is it like a full-on romance?
I think so. I think that it's more romantic than anything romantic I've heard before because it highlights how there is romance found everywhere in life. Of course, there is a very, very strong and integral man-woman romance that the film depicts.
Yeah.
But I think it goes further than that.
Yeah.
I think it's about loving yourself. I think it's about romancing yourself. I think it's about appreciating the fact that there are so many more kinds of love than just romantic love that exist. And every relationship deserves to be treated with a little more love. And like you said, whether it's, are all of us watching crime on OTT platforms, or it's the pace that life has taken for all of us, I don't know how many of us really value love with the primal importance that it should have in our lives. And I think this film is a request to come back to that, just for 2 hours at least.
I love that. And it feels like from the clips I saw and, the Chaka Chak song, it kind of feels like your character is kind of like someone who's like a little edgy and she likes to mess with people, but in the cutest way.
Right.
So do you feel like because you're a bit like that, right? Like you'll be a little moofat, you'll say what you want. So did you feel like she's similar to you?
In that way, yes.
Yeah.
In that way, yes. But I think what was very interesting during the filming of this film was not how much Sara brought to Rinku, because Sara, I am Sara, right? So I'll bring Sara everywhere I go, to an interview, to a party, to a wedding, to a film. It's part of who I am. But I think what was very interesting for me this time round is how much of Rinku I took back home.
Really?
Yeah. I think that she embodies so much strength. I think that, like Anand ji said, कि वो हंसते खेलते हर चीज का सामना करती है. That's what it is. I think that I didn't even realize the fact that sometimes I do that. Sometimes, a lot of times I laugh because I want to laugh, but sometimes it can be a protective layer behind an otherwise innocent interior.
So, do you actually use humor like as
All
a
the
defense
time.
mechanism?
It's the best way.
Yeah, it is.
It's the best way. Also because I don't have a temper. So I can either cry or laugh when you insult me. And if I'm alone and like you really matter, maybe tears is the route I'll take. But more often than not, it'll be like, look what he said. And it's like, what's going on?
So you can decide whether your life is going to be a comedy or tragedy at that moment.
You
and
truly
respond
can.
that way. Love that. You ask a very poignant question, in the trailer, that why can't a girl have 2 guys? And that kind of feels like, oh my God, how could she say that kind of thing? But it's a very important question. And is it because you feel that, I've always thought that, right? Like we all have different parts of us that have different ways that we love, like you said, different friendships and all of that. So what was your sense of that dialogue? What does it mean to you?
I actually remember reading that dialogue, and I remember thinking that this is like a revolutionary thing that I'm being asked to say, and I'm so excited about it. And my writer, Himanshu sir, sat me down and he said, it's not revolutionary. I don't want you to say it with any form of entitlement, any kind of it's not a feminist revolution that we're launching. It is a very innocent, simple thought. I want you to think in your mind that you're saying you want pizza and pasta both. Because it's only then that there will be an innocence that's necessary to this dialogue. This dialogue could come across as jarring. It could come across as confusing. It could come across as even questionable character. But I really believe from the bottom of my heart, and I really hope from even lower in the bottom of my heart, that when you watch the film, that's not what you'll take away. I think that the innocence is palpable when she says that. And I think that's what makes that dialogue so beautiful, because it's not about the words, it's about the intention and the thought and the emotion behind the words.
No, that's beautiful. I like that. I like the way you're putting it, that it doesn't have to be something that's, revolutionary. So let's talk about something that is revolutionary, though. The fact that now going from theaters to OTT platforms, and this has quite become the norm for films, and this is probably one of the biggest films that's coming out, like Disney Hotstar, right? So how do you feel about releasing your movie on OTT?
I'll be honest with you. I became an actor when you couldn't even envision a world without Fridays having samosa for mom and popcorn for Sara at the cinema. So that's when it began for me. And I do love that experience. I think that there's a celebratory aspect to that I do miss. But I also realized 2 things. One is it's not really in my hands to choose where this film is going to release.
Sure.
So, and I as a person feel that this being one example, when things are not in my hands, I try not to think about it too much. Because kya hi kar loge?
What can you do?
Really.
Sure,
And secondly, I feel that as an actor, I make films for my audiences. And if Hotstar has a higher reach, if it can touch more souls, if Rinku's character can reach more people, that's all I really want.
I almost feel more people, watch movies like that. I think it's also because there is a mindset. Yes, it has to be in the cinema. But I realized one thing. I went to watch Tenet, and I realized I was missing something, or I, got distracted, and I could go back and watch it again. And I think people love that now. If they want to go back and watch Chaka Chak 5 times in the movie, they can do that.
They can, and I think that ultimately it's okay.
Yeah.
Because if people watch my film,
Yeah.
if people like the film, the medium through which it is viewed is not as important as what they take from it once they view it.
Yeah.
I think that's the only
No,
real
and
way.
I think I was telling someone that, what the best thing you can do is like lean into it, so do a live countdown midnight before it goes up, do a live. And I, did this, and we should do one together just before the movie comes out. And it's like, okay, now everyone go watch. I find a lot more people social media the movie as soon as they're watching, and they put up clips. So I think, like you're saying, you may not be able to control it, but I think this is a narrative that people should embrace. They really should embrace it more. But I have to ask you, what is it like working with Dhanush and Akshay? Because they're such an interesting breed. They've been around so long. There's some mystery. They feel a bit mysterious somehow, both of them. So what were they like working with?
I think they were both outstanding. Yeah. I think Dhanush sir is just such an experienced actor, such a humble human being. He truly, reading with him especially, we used to read in English. And it made me again, I think that the entire process of filming this film made me actually experience so many statements that I've heard and felt before. Like acting happens in the eyes, not in language.
He said.
No, people say.
People say, yeah.
But seeing him converse with me in English, read Rinku's lines in English, with so much passion in his eyes, I understood that. Akshay sir is so spontaneous, has so much energy, gives every take his 100%, even though it's like his 200th film, which I think is just inspirational. So I think that I'm truly humbled and grateful to be part of a film like this.
I love that. I'm literally super excited about it. I saw the trailer, I think the music launch really had an impact as well. It looks super sweet. It's one that I'm really looking forward to. Something that I think people really enjoy actually is your camaraderie with Janhvi. Did you guys just recently jump into a black and yellow and come back from a concert? Tell me what happened.
So my car and her car was a little far away, and
yeah.
we didn't want to, ironic as this next statement might sound, didn't want to attract unnecessary attention outside the concert.
Okay.
And therefore we got
nice strategy.
Yeah, and therefore we got into a taxi. Also,
Yeah.
we didn't want to just be standing around. We had to go not very far away.
Yeah.
And we've used taxis before. It's just never made it to the news before.
Yeah.
And this time it did.
Yeah. It was fun, but you guys, and I think what's nice is this whole narrative of actors who are peers not getting along and suspicious of each other. I think that has changed.
Not at
and
all.
It's very old. So do you guys ever sit and talk about the stresses of being actors?
Of course. I think that we actually became very friendly during lockdown. And I think that one thing that we really bonded over more than anything was the fact that as ambitious girls, just on the onset of their careers, we've lost 2 years of our lives to this pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think anybody, including my team, will understand the restlessness, the agitation, the regret, just the feeling of uneasiness that one feels because of this lost time. And she understands that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I understand that.
Do you still think there is that concept of a shelf life for actors?
I don't know about that,
Yeah.
but I think that there is definitely, excitement in my heart right now to go out there and do work.
Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily stem from the fear that, I might not have this X years from now.
Yeah.
So I don't know about shelf life, but I do know that these are my years to work.
Yeah.
And when those years are spent at home sanitizing nothing, or everything.
Everything,
Then
yeah.
you're just what's going on?
Yeah. for
And I
sure.
think that as girls, ultimately, we are both very secure in who we are, and I think we're different people. And I think there's mutual respect and admiration for each other, and therefore there's no reason why we can't be friends.
It's time to be here right now and play a little Atrangi Re game.
Oh my God.
Which my team has invented.
Okay.
So here we go. Basically, the game is How Atrangi Are You? You will give us answers whether you agree or disagree, whether you are guilty of doing this or not.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll throw in a little edge to it. Okay. So are you guilty or not of pretending to be disappointed when you got a birthday card without any cash in it?
No, I say I'm disappointed.
You say it?
Yeah, who wants you to just say happy birthday? I mean, yeah, of course.
It's like,
Like,
oh, where's
happy
the
birthday to
money?
everyone. Give me something.
Have you ever, and this I think happens in the industry a lot, called somebody buddy because you forgot their name?
No, ma'am or sir is what I go
Ma'am
for.
or sir.
Safer.
I never. The worst is when someone's like, you know, do you remember me? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what's my name? I'm like, now I start saying, when's my birthday? I'm like, if we're that close.
Yeah, exactly.
It must have come up. Okay.
I can't say your name, so it's too
Oh, it's too-
disrespectful. Aap sorry.
That's a good one.
Yeah, best.
Stumbled and turned that into a funny dance.
No.
I mean, you're a good dancer, so I think you probably don't fall over that much. Are you clumsy or you're not clumsy?
I'm clumsy.
You're clumsy.
I'm clumsy. But if I fell, it would probably. I'm also heavy. So I think if I fell, I would
Wouldn't
fall.
turn into a dance. All right. Took a break from the internet on your computer and then just went and checked the internet on your phone.
I use a phone only.
Anyway, okay. Have you ever hit the elevator button multiple times?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we all do that. Yeah.
It's like impatient, restless, open.
Have you accidentally sent a text to the person that you're talking about?
Yes.
And what was it? You have to tell
Oh my
you have
god,
to
I
tell me
can't, like, I have done this. It's on Instagram. Oh my god, it's so upsetting. So it's like if I want to forward someone's story to you.
Yes.
And I want to write a message.
Yes.
And it says reply to down.
Oh no.
So I think I'm saying, oh my god, isn't this ridiculous? And it's like sent to the person on that story. And I'm like,
no.
oh my
What was
god.
it about? Was it like a funny dance someone was doing or?
So no, it wasn't a funny dance that someone was doing, even though it could have been. I think that it's usually like, you know, what is she wearing?
Oh,
Something
no.
like that. And I'm like,
That's karma for you.
Really? I have no, but I've also like
Yeah.
you made excuses around it and all.
Yeah.
I've
You
been
have to. You have to like
Yeah.
completely backtrack.
And then like it replied saying, what, like, you know, supposing I said, what is she wearing?
It's
Question mark.
amazing.
Then I've been like, what are you wearing, asterisk? It's amazing. Love it.
Oh, no.
Send me more pictures.
You're not alone. It happens
Don't.
to everyone, even to nice people like Sara. Okay. Have you ever rehearsed a conversation in your head that you probably never have? Like when you're...
Yeah, I have.
Okay, have you ever searched for your phone while holding it in your hand? I feel personally attacked because this happens to me all the time.
No.
No. Have you ever had overthinking eye contact by accidentally staring into someone because
Yeah,
you're thinking what's-
like all the time. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Carrying way too much from your car so that you don't have to go back and make a second trip.
I don't really carry too many things
Yeah.
with me, so.
People carry those things more now.
No, that's not what I meant.
A message to everyone who's going to go watch the movie. Tell us when, how, where.
On Disney Hotstar on the 24th of December, and we hope that we can add some more merry to your Merry Christmas.
Oh, snap.
you.
Nicely done. That was a chaka-chak move right there. So make sure you watch it and all the deets in the caption below. Thank you.
Thank you.